tuning in and welcome back to the Barkha Chulani channel. Trust all of you are safe and well. In the recent past, I've had a spate of people, young adults actually, between 20 and 25, who've been seeking me out with tremendous anxiety. Fear of being abandoned, fear of being alienated, fear of people who they love leaving them. I wondered if this was only a result of the pandemic, with death coming so close to home. But as I dig deeper, it reveals itself that these young adults have experienced some form of trauma in their childhood growing up years. Once I dig even more and dive deeper, it unfurls that the trauma has been nothing but parents with a style of parenting where punishment, withdrawal of love, alienation of their availability to the child is one method which kind of stands out. What do I mean? There are many parents who use punishment as a method of bringing up their children. So when their children disobey them, when their children don't do as well as the parents think that they should, or children sometimes being rather difficult, not necessarily following the protocols laid down by the home, etc., etc. There is a style that many a time a parent uses to try and get a message across to the child. The message being that if you don't do as I ask you to do, you will not be loved by me. This terrifies the child because the only person he trusts and who he believes will be available to him unequivocally is not present. And it is this style of parenting, the withdrawal of love, the alienation, the lack of affection, the lack of touch, feel, care, which then terrifies and begins to cause anxiety. The child, as he grows, begins to realize that he better not do anything different out of the ordinary, doesn't take risks, and begins to follow the trodden path. But it's not that really worries me. This child, because of his fear of not having love, because of the unreliability and the undependability of whether he'll get it one minute or lose it the next, begins to cling to relationships which are toxic, begins to acquaint himself with groups of people who possibly add no value, and becomes a desperate, needy person who needs constant reassurance, who needs constantly to depend on another. And it is this which he then carries into his adult life. It is important for us as parents to realize that some of our parenting styles are not necessarily the most sensible ones. And I do believe that we can only be sensible parents when we ourselves are sensible individuals in the first place. Our ideas of love and loving, our ideas of shaping behavior are important for us to recognize. And punishment, by and large, is one of the most detrimental ways to shape behavior. The child, you must remember, trusts you and only you, wants to believe that no matter what he or she does, there are two people standing by his side who will support him and, of course, correct him when he or she is wrong. But if he constantly perceives blow hot and blow cold affection, constantly feels that now mom or dad is not going to talk to me and there's going to be a passive aggressive silence, be sure that you are augmenting anxiety in adult life. Not only that, you are creating an adult who will now be a needy, clingy lover. You are creating a person who will withstand any toxicity, any unbecomingness in a relationship, only because he or she is so afraid to lose love. It is important for us to understand our role as parents. I know that I keep saying in all my videos that we can unlearn everything that was taught to us in childhood. But why unlearn when there are better methods of parenting right from the crib so that your young adult does not suffer the consequences of anxiety that seems to be pervasive in most of the young adults of the world today? I do suggest that we relook at punishment and withdrawal of love as a way of shaping behavior and look to different methods to be able to shape and hopefully bring up our children with a lot more security, assurance, and a lot of wholehearted love. Because at the end of the day, the last thing we want is an anxious child clinging on to another who brings nothing to his life simply because he's afraid of being alone. Thank you for watching the Varkha Chulani channel. If you like what you see, please do hit the like button and please do share my video. And of course, I will meet you next week again. Please do feel free to write to me at varkha@varkhacholani.com. Thank you. Stay well, stay safe.